everybody. Welcome to Ohana. Here in
Thank
the top left corner, we have Karate Esports Club VortiX with 2 wins to his name. And he is taking on our current champion of Fight Club. It is StarCraft, already racking up 3 wins. So we are on game 6. Ohana was Squirtle's choice. Curious, do you have any opinion on why that might be?
I think this is a map that a lot of Protoss players do like. You can go for 3 base pretty easily on it. By the same token, that does also apply to VortiX too. It's not a bad map for Zerg either. I feel like Squirtle is just kind of choosing this rather than going to something like Atlantis Spaceship or something like that. That's definitely a map that Zerg is going to feel more comfortable on. So as far as just the races go, I feel like Protoss is going to be maybe a little bit more comfortable on this, but we're into the point of the map pool where there's not going to be a lot of favoring for each race on the maps that we have. I feel like right now at IPL we have a very, very balanced map pool, and this is one of those maps. So we'll have to see how Squirtle decides to play. You know what I just noticed?
What's that?
If you look at the gases and the minerals and the Nexus, it kind of looks like a Protoss icon, sort of tipped a little bit to the right. See? It's like here's the thing in the middle, and then
that's only one tribe. That's only one tribe of Protoss, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't think
it's Squirtle's tribe. That's what it is.
I guess. Well, the one he's using is not like the
it's
one
like,
that's
look
printed
at
on
the
our
icon up
t-shirts.
here.
Yeah, that's the
and then,
okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that looks like that though.
You don't think this looks kind of like this,
no,
like tipped on the side a little bit?
I think the minerals and the gas look more like the icon Squirtle's using on his Nexus.
Maybe.
There.
Zoom is turned off on this, but I would use it otherwise. But
anyway.
Anywho.
So I like Ohana because I liked Belshire Beach a lot, and then they made it all winterized, and I was like, screw this crappy map.
Exactly. I felt the same way. I want happy, sunny, sandy maps.
Why would you get rid of Hawaii and replace it with like
Alaska?
And, like,
although
Crevasse.
Alaska's pretty beautiful, though.
Like Crevasse was one of the ugliest maps of all time, and they're just like, all right, let's use that tile set to replace the good one.
No. Oh, he does get the hatchery down.
So what is that? That's 4 out of 6 now. Where he's had to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Zergs have no problem at all doing this type of thing. He's going to go ahead and kill that pylon as soon as he has a couple Zerglings out, which should be quite soon. There they are in the cocoons right now.
Cocoon.
The cocoons. The probe will scout and see the cocoons.
Kill the cocoons.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no. Cocoons are now Zerglings.
Okay, so this game, So what's kind of weird about this series so far is we've already harped on it a lot, but Squirtle builds air units, VortiX builds Hydras, VortiX wins.
Generally.
Squirtle
it's a little bit more complicated, but that's the general Cliff Notes
But
version.
Squirtle builds normal things and just wins. So I want to see VortiX's actual plans for breaking a front of Squirtle, because that hasn't happened yet. He's done the drops. He's done ventral. If he makes ventral sex again, I might pull my hair out. But,
it's just good to have, though. It's a cheap upgrade. There's no reason not to get it in a late game situation.
You already said there were reasons. You had to use the money to get ventral sacks and speed. You had to wait around for those because those upgrades take a long time.
I'm talking more like in a later game situation. Okay. If you're on like 4 bases, you have a lot of income. You're like, you might as well get it. Can be useful from time to time, but.
But I want to see if he has something else in mind for breaking this front, because it just hasn't.
Maybe
he hasn't really been successful in doing that.
Well, the thing is on a map like this, he doesn't really need to break the front.
That's true. He's
in fact,
got some
a lot of Zerg players will not actually try to break Protoss. They're gonna just wait, take some bases, try to defend, and then kill the army in the open field. As you can see, this is a great map for Zerg to flank on. A lot of open space out here. And so a lot of Zerg players will be like, you know what? Why would I want to try to break up this ramp here when I've got 2 ramps to get to the main? I can just go ahead and sit and just make sure that I can kill the army midfield. Yes. That's what he's going to do.
He's going to verify that hatches up this time.
Good to do, yeah. Doesn't want a repeat of last game.
Yeah, well, last time, I mean, he got the information, but he just had a weird encounter at his actual natural. But probe does go down. Stalker in production already for Squirtle. Kind of interesting. Usually goes for that sentry first. Or at least a zealot.
Deciding to get out there to put a little bit of pressure on, and a very quick +1 as well. So you know what? Despite this being a map that a lot of Protoss players do like to expand on, you can see he's got the Zergling there to look for just such a thing. I wouldn't be surprised one bit to see a much more aggressive 2-base play too, but we'll see. I mean, usually when you get the +1 before the robo like that, it's going to be either a 2-gate timing or an expand. So we'll see which one it is. We've still got some time to deduce completely what Squirtle is deciding to do this match. Not a lot to say about VortiX's side. Standard ZVP. He's got the Evo Chamber and the Roach Warren on the way right now. Probably going to be starting that Lair and Zergling speed in the near future here.
I think Squirtle will probably just go for the Bay. I don't really see Blink favoring him too much in this map or anything like that. I have to imagine just normal Colossi, because that actually helps him in the open field, right? Having Colossi with their large sweeping attacks. The only problem is if he gets a full flank, that can be hard to deal with for a Colossus because it doesn't know where to run.
Yeah, a lot of times what you'll see this map turn into, for some reason it seems like Zerg players are really fond of Mutalisks on this map. The reason being, of course, you can kind of bounce between bases pretty easily, and you can, you know, genuinely protect your third fairly well with that too. So if Zergs get the chance to go air, they usually will. But, you know, you also see a lot of Ultralisks actually eventually in the late game on this map too. It kind of depends. I mean, Zerg players generally feel safer with Broodlords. I mean, it's a given. Ultralisks work well in certain specific situations. But if you can get to a point where your army is just, you know, that strong, you can crush that first attack from Protoss, Ultras are a great choice for this map. I mean, they don't have the pathing issues, again, because of that wide open area. They can usually find surface area to attack on. Whoops, losing a creep tumor there.
Those darn clunky Ultralisks. I always wonder in some alternate timeline where Blizzard made it so that Lings can run underfoot of Ultralisks.
Oh.
How the game would be today, you know, 2 years later, because that was a suggestion that was being tossed around in beta, and for a while it looked like Blizzard was considering it because they changed all kinds of stuff with the Ultralisks. They made them immune to slow and stun and all that stuff. Concussive shells don't do anything they used to. They used to, you know, slow Ultralisks. They changed the way Massive works in a couple of different ways. They changed the way their attacks work. Like, Ultras have been changed potentially more than any other unit aside from just times. You know, like their actual mechanics have been changed multiple times.
Right.
So if that had ever happened where Lings could run underfoot, only Lings because they're so small, then the pathing issues with Ultras would have just been changed completely. So
now,
you know, just something to think about, something fun to think about.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever do that. I suppose it is possible. What we have right now.
Soon they have Burrow Charge, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we'll never see it now. But we've got a really strong 1-1-7 gate coming out for Squirtle. I believe it was 7. Yeah, 7 gateways. There it is, 7th ending right now. And VortiX has had a lot of time to prepare for this. He's got +1 for his missile attacks. He's got Roach speed finishing nearly right now. He's got Zergling speed as well. That is finished. So if there was ever a time where you'd be prepared, this would be it. He's trying to get that flank. Force field's going down for Squirtle. Here we go. He's going to have to use a lot of energy. And yeah, it looks like VortiX is just going to sit back and defend here. We'll see how aggressive Squirtle wants to be with this. He is at 46 probes, so doesn't really want to expand. He wants to end the game right here.
Yeah, he's brought that Warp Prism along just like he did on an Antigua shipyard. Perfect timing with those first couple of Immortals. Actually, he's got more sentries than he did that time as well, and that's kind of how VortiX tried to stay alive, was dropping on, or trying to get all those sentries killed down, but there's so many this time. Here comes the flank. He's going to try and gun down the sentries in the back. Actually, the Immortal taking some hits now. And this just looks tough. Squirtle has so many units. VortiX has got 8 Roaches in production, but he needs to get them consolidated or this is just not going to work out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just really, really tough with those 3 Immortals to get any sort of damage done. The force fields push a couple of them away. You just keep losing a Roach here, a Roach there. It definitely does add up. Look at the units lost right now. So much higher for VortiX. That is not where you want to be. Oh, man, and he makes it up the ramp.
He did get up the ramp,
rough,
but he lost several sentries getting there, and now VortiX has a wave of double-digit Roaches. He's going to try and focus down that last Immortal. He does get it, and now it's Sentry's turn to be focused down, and soon I would probably just be making Lings at this point just to try to stay alive. Oh, the Immortal actually got lifted. I thought it died, the last Immortal
One of them did die. One of them did die, but there was one that was in the Warp Prism. Oh, he barely picks it up. That Immortal was nearly dead. He drops it again. Oh, look at that micro keeping that alive.
Immortals have instant shots, man.
Squirtle,
Roaches don't. It's perfect.
That is a lucky Immortal, and Squirtle is doing so much damage to his opponent, almost making up that supply deficit, and VortiX just in huge trouble. He's camping the cocoons. Yeah,
there's 18 Roaches in production now, but even if they come in 4, 5, 6 at a time, there's just enough units here, and he can keep warping in just by flipping it over to that warping mode, and he is just crushing it right now.
Wow, that Immortal's still alive.
That's the name of the game, man. Immortal.
35
He's got so much
points.
shield. He's got 42 shield back up now.
That's right. He's looking pretty good here. And yeah, VortiX continues to take damage. GG.